Hello everybody, my name is Nixxiom, and 2016 is almost over. That's right, it's almost over. And last year, at the end of 2015, I had an idea to do a video just like this one. My top 5 WoW Machinimas that I made, but I never did it. And you know what, this year, I'm gonna do it because I think it's gonna be interesting. And you know, once this video is over, I am genuinely very curious, what were your favorite videos that I made on this channel in the year of 2016? Doesn't have to be a WoW Machinima, could be a top 10, I don't know, but let me know, because I'm curious and it's good feedback going into 2017. But without further ado, these are my top 5 Machinima videos that I made this year. Number 5 is I Want a Legendary. Now this video, the reason why, number 1, it's one of my favorites, is because while I was working on this video, on stream over on Twitch, I actually got a legendary. In the middle of working on this, I got my first legendary. And so that was great, but of course, you know, I had to continue the project. I had to depict Nixxiom as still being the whiny bitch that he was, just like I was before I got my first legendary, and I think it turned out great. I thought the whole concept of the video was funny. I really liked the idea of like the whatchamacallums, the people that hand out the boxes for doing the world quests. I liked the idea that they would have these big stacks of boxes behind them that said free legendaries, you know, behind them. And Nixxiom is just sitting there like, come on, like, give me one. They're like right there. And I just thought that would be funny. And I have to say that I think my favorite joke in that video that I don't know, it was funny to me anyway, it was my favorite, was the joke where the Tauren hands Nixxiom his reward for completing the world quests, and it's a dildo covered in hair, you know, because he's a Tauren, and then he's like, oh, sorry, that's mine. Here's your reward, and he hands him like a shitty little Pez dispenser. It's a good and accurate depiction of how I felt, you know. Yeah, so number 5 is gonna go to I Want a Legendary. I just really enjoyed that video, and it was fun to make. My number 4 pick is going to go to How to Necromancer. How to Necromancer is a video that I wanted to make for so long. I really wanted to make this how-to class video about the Necromancer based off of my character Cthulhu that I used to roleplay as back in the day in the guild The Cult of the Damned. And I just thought it would be so cool, this idea that the Necromancer is training the noob in these dark and unknown ways, and he uses this power to defeat Nixxiom and Mukluk, and it's all just a big dream. It's all a fantasy. You know, the Necromancer class isn't real. Now also, if you remember, at the very end of the video, there was that shot, the very last shot, where it was just slowly zooming in on the dark, like, sewer entrance, just very slow, and you're kind of expecting to hear something, or maybe you're gonna see something in the darkness, but you don't see anything, so it's just a mystery, you know. And I kind of a little bit of a visual metaphor, like, you know, what is, you know, will we ever get the Necromancer class? I mean, we don't know. It's like completely in the dark, and you know, that was kind of my cool, you know, visual metaphor for that. But it was just such an awesome video, like with the creepy Scholomance music and the noob being trained. And back when I used to roleplay in the Cult of the Damned guild, I roleplayed Cthulhu kind of like a Sith Lord. You know, he was all about just getting power, more and more power, and it was all about him and blah 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 blah. And I actually included that joke in the video where Cthulhu is telling the noob the code of the Sith Lords from Star Wars. And you know, to you guys it's just a joke, but you know, to me it was actually kind of like the philosophy of how I played the character. You know, like, there's no such thing as peace, it's all about power, you know, like stuff like that. And so it was just such a cool video. Very dark themed video. Matt Greenberg did an awesome job as the Necromancer's voice, and it was awesome. Number 3 is going to go to the video The True Story of Deathwing. Now, This video was written by me, and it was narrated by me, obviously, but I didn't make it. It was actually my friend Mattias who made the visuals for the video and whatnot. And I'll tell you guys something, you know, from me to you guys. If you give someone else a project that you're going to be uploading on your channel that you're not going to make, you're kind of sitting there like, oh boy, you know, like you're not sure what you're gonna get back. I mean, he did the true story of Illidan, but you know, I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh boy, you know, is it gonna be as good as the true story of Illidan? Like, how's he gonna do? Like, hopefully the video is funny. I hope people are gonna like it. And when he sent me the video, the finished thing with all the visuals and whatnot, like, I remember laughing so hard all throughout the video because he worked on it for a while, and I had forgotten so much of, like, the script and the narration and all that stuff, and especially the fucking Malfurion part. I laughed so hard at how he did that with Malfurion coming up, and he's, like, cheering, and there's, like, the rainbow lights behind him. It's like, oh, it's fucking Malfurion, and then, you know, he steals, like, the dinner plate of destiny, and you know, Deathwing flies into like his big old manly chest and gets defeated. It was hilarious. Like, it was hilarious for me. I mean, I felt like it was kind of like one of the few times where I've gotten to kind of watch one of my videos as more of like an audience member than as the creator, I guess, but just sort of. But that video was hilarious, man. Mattias did an awesome job, and it's definitely one of my favorite videos on the channel. The true story of Deathwing, and I really am excited to do more true stories in the past, working with Mukluk and the Nixxiom and Mattias and friends. So I'm going to give number 3 to the true story of Deathwing. Number 2 is going to Back to Vanilla. Now, this video I consider to be one of the most creative videos that I made. Now, the reason why is because the plot of it I just felt was so good. The idea that Nixxiom is with these people, and they were all patrons, they're all people that support me on Patreon, and I named them all at the end of the video. It was just my way of saying thanks to them, but Nixxiom is talking to, you know, these random people, you know, my patrons, and he's like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this transmog run, and like nobody knows how to get into Molten Core, like nobody knows like where the entrance to Molten Core is. And usually it is true, like if you ask like somebody that didn't play back in the day and has never been to Molten Core, like, hey, do you know where the entrance to Molten Core is? They have no idea. Like, they're like, I don't know. They don't know like where the entrance to Molten Core is. And so they have to go and find someone that played Vanilla WoW in order to lead them, you know, to the raid and through the raid and everything. And there's only one person on my channel that makes it very, very clear that he played Vanilla WoW, and that's the level 58 DK. That whole plot and premise I thought was so funny. And then the fact that the level 58 DK, they're in the raid and he's getting killed and they're having to res him, and then he sees Ragnaros and he's like, wow. And like the whole idea that, yeah, he may have played vanilla, but he didn't actually raid or do any of the stuff that he claimed to do. What I do is I kind of take that like that vanilla fanboyness and I kind of just inflate it to a whole new level where you're just a massive asshole. Like, wow, you guys didn't even play vanilla. You must suck at this game. Vanilla was so much better back in the day and everything was perfect and blah, 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 and like all that stuff. And then, you know, when he actually is put back into vanilla, it's like, oh, he didn't actually really like play vanilla. He didn't raid. He didn't do any of that stuff back in vanilla. So I just thought that whole like concept was hilarious. And then of course at the end he levels up, which was a completely last second script addition, and it becomes a level 59 Death Knight. And as soon as you know, level past 58 as a Death Knight, you become this, you know, nice and kind of normal, maybe a little too nice individual. I don't know. I thought it was great. And so I'm definitely gonna give it the number 2 spot in my list. And finally, we have number 1, my favorite machinima that was made in the year 2016 on this channel, and that is gonna have to go to How To Warrior. it's got to go to How to Warrior. Why? There's a number of reasons why. The first reason why is because I consider How to Warrior one of my most creative videos. Now, the reason why I consider it to be one of my most creative videos is because of the fact that, well, let me back up. How to Warrior is actually a combination of two video ideas that I had. The first video idea was How to Warrior. And in the original idea for How to Warrior, it was kind of similar to some of the other class videos. The noob meets a warrior, and the warrior kind of teaches him, you know, 3 different things, 3 different stereotypes or functions of the class. And then there's like a conclusion, and that's it. But I also had this idea for another video where it would have been more of a serious project, but it would have been funny. And I had this idea of making a Beowulf parody, and I was going to use the characters from my channel. Like, Nixxiom would be Beowulf, the noob would be Weaklove, Dan the garrison guy would be King Hrothgar, Mukluk would be the Sea Hag, and the level 58 DK would be Grendel, and all that stuff. And so I kind of, when I was sitting there and I was thinking about How to Warrior, I kind of combined both of those ideas together, because Beowulf is the Prince of Warriors. You know, that's what he is. He's the Prince of Warriors. And so I was like, what if like fucking Beowulf is the character, and he shows up and he saves the day, and he, like, you know, fights a giant monster or whatever. And originally in the original script, Mukluk was the Sea Hag. So originally he fought Mukluk down at the bottom of the lake, but Mukluk actually suggested, why not Nixxiom, since Nixxiom has been the primary, you know, torturer of the noob throughout the series. So I was like, yeah, that makes sense. But just the whole, like, premise and basing it off of, like, the poem Beowulf, which is one of my favorite pieces of writing ever. I just thought it was so cool. For me personally, it was a serious video, but it was funny at the same time, and I liked that. And I think my favorite part is the fact that I was really struggling with the fact that Beowulf, if you know the epic, Beowulf dies at the hands of a dragon. So I'm sitting there thinking, you know, Beowulf, he kills the Sea Hag in the epic, and then he goes and he rules his kingdom, and then he fights a dragon and he dies. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, how am I going to do that? And it just came to me instantly, like, oh, Nixxiom has a little frostworm, like, non-combat pet. And when Nixxiom dies, he's like, oh, get him. And the little pet goes, and, like, just kills him in, like, one little hit. And I was like, yeah, that's perfect. Like, he dies at the hands of a dragon. Like, that's so perfect. So I just thought it was so creative. It was just so creative. And I pat myself on the back because of that one. I just thought it was so cool. But only you history nerds out there can, you know, really appreciate it to that level that I did. Those of you that are, you know, that have read the epic and you know all the stuff it was based off of. And of course, you got Asmongold at the end. I thought the Asmongold scene was so funny. Like, just that opening part where it's like, Lord of Warriors, reveal yourself, and fucking Asmongold shows up, and he's like, sup, nub? It's me. It's your boy Asmongold. I laughed so hard. I laughed so hard when he sent me those takes, that video footage. I laughed so hard because I could just see it in my mind. And when it finally, like, was made into the video, or I finally, like, put it in the video and put the audio in, it just worked so well. I loved it. And so I gotta give How to Warrior #1 for this year. Yeah. So again, guys, what was your favorite Machinima video that I made this year? What was your favorite videos that I made this year on this channel? Because again, like I said, it is good feedback. It lets me see, you know, what are people watching? What do they really enjoy? And why do they enjoy it? So if you say, oh, I liked this video, tell me why you liked that video. Maybe you thought the plot was good, or it was creative, or you liked the fact that it was a parody of something or a reference to something. I don't know. But guys, I appreciate you guys watching. I got a lot of Machinima ideas for 2017. The how-to series is not done. Don't worry. We still have races to go through. We have professions to go through. We still have how to tank and how to healer to get done. We got a lot to do. So I've got tons of ideas, And 2017 is going to be a good year. It's definitely going to be a good year. So, all that said, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed all the Machinima videos this year. And I will talk to you, I don't know when this video is coming out, but I will talk to you in the year 2017, most likely. Alright? Yeah, alright. I'll see ya.